one would think the Democrats would be a little bit happy. But as Tucker Carlson pointed out last night, winning elections or winning the election of 2020 seems to make them angrier.
Instead of taking victory laps, they are plotting revenge against the people they just beat. They're thinking of new ways to injure and humiliate and degrade their political opponents, make it impossible for them to work again, throw them in jail, destroy their lives. It's hard to describe how weird and strange and awful this is to watch. Imagine winning a tennis match in straight sets, then immediately leaping over the net and smashing your opponent in the face with your racket. It wasn't enough for you to win. You had to inflict physical pain. You couldn't be happy until another human being screamed in agony.
It is really peculiar to see the lack of, I don't know, even relief from the Democrats. Here's what Glenn Reynolds wrote at the New York Post. The Democrats voted to impeach Trump again when they impeached him almost exactly a year ago, just in time to distract the White House, Congress, and the nation from the looming coronavirus pandemic. The grounds were, to say the least, thin. It was notable that Democrats didn't even bring up impeachment at their convention, and it stayed below the radar during the presidential campaign. After allegedly being a matter of earth-shattering importance, it was like it never happened. But now they've impeached him a week before he was scheduled to leave office anyway. And this time, the claim was even thinner, that a speech in which Trump called for peaceful protest was somehow incitement of events on Capitol Hill and elsewhere, some of which apparently took place before the speech was delivered. When Democrats spent a year promoting and excusing violent riots against police, we were told that it was mostly peaceful protest, even when police stations and state capitals were seized and when rioters tried to burn down federal courthouses. When Trump called for peaceful protest, we're told he was advocating violence. Byron York calls this the crazy impeachment, and he is right. Now, this is also a place where I have to remind you that even Mitch McConnell has piled on with his really regrettable remarks yesterday on the floor of the Senate, blaming Trump for the riots. Byron York was right. This is the crazy impeachment. Glenn Reynolds writes, it seems that the public agrees that both of these big Democratic initiatives are, well, crazy. In a McLaughlin poll of battleground state voters, 60% said impeachment was a waste of time. 77% said Congress should work on the coronavirus response instead. 74% said impeachment is politically motivated to prevent the president from running again. 65% said that the president-elect Joe Biden and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi are keeping the country divided. I think we need to now add Mitch McConnell to that list, huh? Meanwhile, 70% thought that the big tech companies have gotten too powerful, need to be cut down to size. 74% thought that if Silicon Valley billionaires could take away Trump's free speech, they can take away the right to free speech for any American. Glenn Reynolds says one promise of the Biden campaign was that after the craziness of the Trump years, electing the ex-vice president would return the country to normal. Instead, Democrats are doubling down on crazy. It's a good point. 800-655-MIKE. We're going to get your reaction to all of this. Inauguration Day 2021.